Association of Rhode Island. David Allard, come on in.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Thanks for
Nice
coming
to see
on
you
up.
as
Put
well.
your right foot on the right tape
Well,
and we'll
thank you very much.
have a conversation here. So I
Great.
appreciate it. As I was joking when you were coming, I was like, oh, he's coming all the way in from Newport.
We hear that all the time.
Did you pack a bag?
I certainly did. Pack my lunch.
Pack the bag to go over the bridges. We actually had another candidate. We had John Flores from the council Skype in.
Oh, okay.
And we've
nice.
also reached out to Dawn Ewer to invite her to come in as well. But,
Wonderful.
you know, as we were always joking all along after the last election cycle that we were in cycle for 18. And little did we know we would be having a special election.
I know.
So tell me, when you heard that the Senate president was taking a position with the hospital, when did the wheels start to turn of maybe I might want to run for her seat?
Well, I was actually sitting down, and someone sat next to me, that was sitting next to me, said, "Oh, you should run." And I said, No, I'm not going to do that. And then the wheels started spinning a little bit. Public service is something that really matters to me a lot, and so I decided, you know what? I'm going to think about this. I'm going to explore this. Of course, there's not a lot of time in a special election to really explore. So I took a few days, reached out on social media to try to see, you know, is this a good idea?
Testing the waters a little bit.
Testing the waters, you know. I wanted feedback from constituents, from people that know me well. And I got so much positive feedback, I decided it would be a great decision.
Okay, and you made the announcement. I said, got to have him in here to, again, the reason why do you think he'd be the best person for the position?
Well, I think that we have 3 great Democrats that are running for this seat for sure. I think that my history advocating for education makes me the best person for the seat.
And talk to us a little bit about your work. You're at the Department of Education.
Yeah.
You're working on the 3rd grade reading goal. So
Yeah.
talk to us about your work at the Department of Education.
Well, I'm really fortunate. I get to wake up every single day and think about the kids of Rhode Island and how I'm going to help them read. And if there's anything that can make someone go to bed and sleep well at night, it's definitely thinking I'm moving the needle for our students. That's just who I am, and that's who I've always been. So I'm just working on creating partnerships with people to make sure that we move this needle, because studies show that when students are successful by the end of 3rd grade, they're successful in life. So to me, it's very important work.
And you talk about the partnerships. So talk to us, what's the work being done in the schools, and what's the other work that you're saying partners and looking maybe outside the schools?
Well, we're going to begin to look at community partnerships just to get the message out that this is such an important goal for the state.
And talk to us a little bit, what do you think are the major issues facing the district? I mean, again, here we are up in Providence. All politics are local.
Very true.
What are the pressing issues that you hear from folks? I mean, folks who gave you, as you said, a lot of support to run.
Right.
But when they say, David, we need this or we need that, what are the things you're hearing most from them?
Well, I'm hearing a lot of things about we need to continue on the path that the education system is going right now. So the Newport Public Schools has a fantastic strategic plan out from 2016 to 2019, I believe. And it's really focused on 3 important things that I hold dear, and that's early childhood education, technology, and school culture. And I really want to run to keep that moving forward.
And there's a lot of folks down in Newport talking about the Innovation Center down there, talking about STEAM. How important is that in the grand scheme of
STEAM
education?
is very important to me, and it's an issue that's very close to my heart. I've worked on it in the past. There's a phenomenal STEAM community down there that are really advocating for science, technology, engineering, arts and design, and math. And if elected, I will fight for that cause, because it's very important in getting our students the skills that they need to really be successful in life and get good careers.
So let's talk about a few of the statewide issues that I'm sure will come up in the course of this campaign, the mini campaign season, because we still don't know yet.
We do not know. No.
Again, you're probably trying to balance, you know, the work-life balance of anyone who's working, who runs for office up at the State House. But, you know, we'll go through the gamut of issues. The repeal of the car tax that the Speaker is advocating for, and the Governor, had the partial repeal.
Right.
What do you think is the best approach to the car tax?
I'm just very grateful that we have a speaker that is looking out for the taxpayers. I'm not exactly sure what the best approach is right now, but I'm very sure that the approach of lowering the car tax is something that will benefit middle-class families, which is so important to me.
Okay, so you're not taking a stance whether the full repeal or the governor's
No,
partial.
and so what I'm doing is really reaching out to the voters of District 13, and I really want their opinion on this. So that's one of the things. I've been on the doors and I've been asking people, what do you feel about this? What do you feel about that? And that's something I'll continue to reach out for.
And let's talk a little bit free college tuition. I'm sure, again, talking about education, you
absolutely.
are supportive of the proposal.
I really am, and I really want to explain There are many reasons why, but I was talking to some voters last night, and they have triplets who are 16. And they told me that they stay awake at night thinking, how am I going to pay for all this tuition? And then they said they're so excited about this because this is really going to impact them as taxpayers, as citizens of Rhode Island. They are going to have a break, which I think is fantastic.
Now, again, the governor had a big ally in Senator Teresa Paiva-Weed. Now we've got a new Senate president. How do you see the shakeup at the Senate with Senate President Ruggiero?
I think that the Senate president is going to be fantastic. I think that he cares about issues that really matter to Rhode Islanders in much the same way that the governor does. So I don't see it as much of a shakeup. I think it's fantastic.
Let's talk about another hot button issue, marijuana legalization. Where do you stand on that?
So I'm still reaching out to the voters of District 13. I have a very open mind about it. I think that I would like to hear what they have to say.
And we talked a little bit before you came into the studio about your involvement with the Young Leaders Council and your involvement in politics. So, as you said, you were thinking of it when you heard that she was going to be taking the position with the hospital. But talk to us, I mean, when did you really get the political bug and why?
Oh, wow. I would say that I got the political bug during the marriage equality campaign. That was something that really mattered to me. And it was so impactful because I actually was able to work on a campaign, watch it pass, and then see people benefit from government, which I think is fantastic.
And one of your potential opponents, Dawn, worked on that as well.
Yeah, she did.
So how would you describe, I mean, as Newport progressive? Is it more? Is it a combination of progressive and conservative Democrats? How do you see the constituency down there?
I really think that my message of economic opportunity, good education policy, that's going to resonate with the voters. I'm very confident that my message will resonate with the voters of District 13.
So you said that, you put the feelers out there, you talk with some folks. What are your plans in the coming weeks? Again, we don't know when the actual election is going to take place.
Absolutely.
But putting together a team, do you have the kitchen cabinet?
I've got the kitchen cabinet, which is super important. I have a very dear friend who has stepped up to run the campaign, which I feel fantastic about. And honestly, a team full of former students who really want to see me up at the State House, which I think is fantastic.
Former students? And what were we talking age range? How old are they?
Well, I don't really want to date myself, Kate. I always call them my kids, and they're actually like 25 now. So, but in the end, it was a phone call from a student that really pushed me over the edge. I said, you know what, you advocated for me. I want you to go up and advocate for the people of District 13.
It was a former student who pushed you over the edge, so to speak. Okay, very good. Well, David Allard running for the seat being vacated by Senate President Teresa Paiva-Weed. Something you may or may not know, we like to ask folks trivia questions when they come on to
Wonderful.
Go Local. So it's a game called Day Trip, and it's all Rhode Island trivia. It's a little dated. I believe it was done in the 90s, so don't quote me on it. But it's fun just to talk about everything going on in Rhode Island. And I'm going to fan the cards and let you choose one. Okay, let's see what we have over here. Ooh. Now, this might be dating yourself. I don't know if I know this, but this has a Newport connotation.
Alrighty.
The number of walls in a highlight court. Did you ever go to highlight?
I have never been to highlight, actually, but I think it's a great sport. I have a good friend who was a professional highlight player, and that's how he ended up at Newport. Actually,
of course,
which is fantastic.
I'm gonna date myself. I never went to highlight myself either. I just saw it on TV the other day. It's very interesting. So I don't know if I'd know how many walls.
I would say 4.
3.
Okay.
Okay, close.
That's
I guess maybe we're looking at 3 walls. But again, we didn't go to highlight. But this card is assuming everyone went to Newport Highlight. Actually, a question about that. What's going to become of that facility, the old Newport?
I don't know. I certainly hope that people continue to look into that and that we can expand economic opportunity there. I think that would be fantastic.
What's the talk around town? I mean, what could it be?
I mean, there have been multiple proposals. There's been so much as think tanks for climate change, all sorts of things. And I just really want to make sure that it's contributing to the economy, creating jobs for Newporters. I have so many friends. I had the opportunity to come here for a job. Loved this place, fell in love with it, and it's I want other people to have that opportunity, Kate. I think that's super important.
So, that's in a location that's kind of on the outskirts of what folks know as the town down in Newport. I mean, the growth potential in Newport, is it I don't want to say unbridled or unlimited, but there is a lot of space where growth can occur.
100%. I could not agree more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if we have further questions and things happen during the campaign, but this is really the introduction, statewide voters, but knowing what's going on, again, down with the special election for Senator Teresa Paiva-Weed seat as she goes to the Hospital Association of Rhode Island. And as we said, we're in cycle for 18, but here we are, March of 2017, and that we're just keeping an eye as to when this election is going to take place. But David Allard, appreciate your coming in today.
So
Do you want to let folks know where to go to check out more information about you?
Yeah, you can actually email me directly. It's Allard, ALLARD, period, David, DAVID, the number 4, at gmail.com. And we're getting a website up right now.
Fantastic. That's what I figured you were, again,
right.
Getting the things in motion. I do the last name, first name for the email.
Do you as well?
I
don't know. Well, that's good to know.
David Allard, again, I know we
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
We will talk soon. Okay,
Wonderful.
David, thank you. Everyone, that was David Allard, now the third candidate to officially toss his hat in the ring for the seat being vacated by Senate President Teresa Paiva-Weed. Again, the Senate had a little shakeup with that, and now we're looking to see who will look to take that seat. John Flores, Don Ewer on the Democratic side have both announced that they are running, so we're keeping an eye out to who else is officially tossing their hat in, as we said, for the special election that folks are keeping an eye on in the coming weeks, because, again, we don't know when that election is going to